2014. We're going to return the call of Jessica Toro.
This is the voicemail left by Miss Jessica Toro. She's in Mississippi and her children were kidnapped for profit by Arkansas DHS. She said the video of the Lenny Schaefer and Mashana Campbell federal lawsuit. We use video journalism for e-discovery and to inform the public, taking control of our own media distribution opportunities through the free and low-cost hosting of the internet provider services. And we post our findings of fact in all file types, which qualifies for the definition of e-discovery. Yes, they will be entered into a court of law on disk. However, it also informs the public when they're up at a YouTube channel or CNN iReport or a hosted website. Okay, so she saw the video of Avery Carter kidnapping for profit, violating the 4th Amendment rights, 14th Amendment rights, and abusing local police officers to do so as well, of Lamoni Mashana Campbell's grandson, but that was actually the second grandchild harvested from the family of Lenny Schaefer and Mashana Campbell. And Mashana Campbell has a unique position of having been for 7 years a DHS foster parent. So these we're showing how the laws are so antiquated there. Well, actually, they're getting away with breaking the laws. So basically, our legislative language says to enforce the guidelines, policies, and procedures for receiving the federally funded Children's Protective Services money and the family preservation money that requires the state agency employees and the juvenile courts to make sure that family and heritage are streamlined and not as a rule categorically forbidden for a blood relative, as is being done in Arkansas, functioning as a Confederate slave state. They're accepting United States taxpayer dollars, but they're thumbing their nose at the United States taxpayer and voter laws that we put in place, and they're functioning as though they are literally modern day slavers, human trafficking, where in the case of Nikito Smith, Lenny Schaefer's grandson, the first one taken, is now a missing and exploited child whose whereabouts, health, and safety are unknown. And we are demonstrating in this landmark Little Rock, Arkansas federal lawsuit the introduction of House of Representative bill language, as well as how to get a United States Department of Justice Amber Alert and subpoena of records opened up in a civil investigative demand, which seeks criminal referrals and discernment of criminal responsibilities, and forces the court through habeas corpus to produce a live, healthy body of it forces Arkansas DHS kidnappers for profit to produce a live, healthy body and account for the whereabouts, health, and safety and treatment or maltreatment of little Nikito Smith since he's gone missing through a plethora of deliberate falsification of court records. Okay, so we're going to hear the call. This person saw this video about Avery Carter giving erroneous and illegal advice, boasting about the prejudice of the judges, their predisposed dispositions that automatically rule out blood relatives, and she's calling as a result of seeing this video on Avery Carter talking to Lenny Schaefer and Mashana Campbell, the grandparents who have the courage to move forward in this landmark Arkansas, landmark lawsuit against Arkansas for personal injury with racketeering influence, corrupt organization, causes of action. When they're filing this, their case caption says, and it's of course on behalf of themselves, on behalf of their grandchildren, and on behalf of other Arkansans similarly situated. So here you're going to hear the challenges that this group of claimants has of even recognizing that felony crimes for
and you
which
have to
they have
verify
redress
everything and file it into a
grievances in the
court.
federal court
So I'm
do in fact
suggesting
exist.
that you know
They are
the
thinking
family of
they have
three
a
plaintiffs,
story to tell.
Lashana
They
Campbell,
are
the Avery
thinking
Carter
that
video
it's
that
like,
you
oh my
referred
gosh,
to,
what
and
happened?
Lenny
They
Schaefer,
can't
had
survive their
two
emotions. They're
grandchildren kidnapped for
scrambled.
profit
They're
by this Avery
understandably
Carter,
wounded,
and
like
where our
aggravated
case
assault
caption
victims
says
are, like slavery
those people,
victims
those
are, whose
five
children are
plaintiffs,
dragged
those
away
are
from them and taken down,
kansans
taken
that are
somewhere parts
unable to
unknown. You
sue
know, they're
but similarly
brokenhearted.
situated.
So
And
it's
whenever
very
you
hard to
have
get it
that,
through to them
you add those
that
people that have claims
true
with
recourse
with an appendix,
requires
but we do
law-abiding
everything
but
responsibly in
aggressive
court
action
compliantly
where you
so it
get your
doesn't get
claims
thrown
in
out,
a
and
court
it's
where
got to
it
be put
becomes
on
a
an
public
appendix, and I
record
have to
that
verify. Can I get your court
everybody can see it,
documents that
not
you're
just this
referring to my
conversation,
story?
but
I got to get
everyone can
everything that
see.
happened between
The
my
litigators
husband
can see it. The
and the
globally
court, the
practicing
proof
law
within
firms
my
can see
practice.
the
The
growing
only
class
way the federal court has
constituency of claimants there
jurisdiction about a
in that
state court
particular
matter is if
jurisdiction.
you can show
The
that they
U.S.
legally
attorneys and
malpractice state and federal
attorney
laws.
generals and district attorneys can see the Office of Crime Victim Services that are available for those people that now qualify as
The whole
federal
fee to be
crime
added to an
victims
existing
created
complaint.
by some
If you
sort
want to
of
do your
legal
own
malpractice,
complaint, the whole fee is
perjury, other
$2,500,
felonies
right?
perpetrated
And
because
you can pay that in
someone, a
installments or
criminal, was
something like this.
officially
If you
positioned
want to be
to
on
do
this
so. That
complaint, this
includes
is the
theft,
legal
identity theft,
malpractice
and
law,
so
in
on,
my opinion,
and theft of
is a
person.
landmark
So
complaint
we're going to
because
play
it's
this
introducing bill
voicemail,
language to
and then I'm
change
going
the
to add it
law,
to the
right?
other
If you want to be
conversations
on this one, you
with
got to have it
Jessica
today
Toro
and no
and the
later
paternal
tomorrow
grandmother,
because they're
Miss
getting their
Williams.
full draft
Saved
for me
message.
to add you to the
Hi,
appendix. I have to
my
get your
name is
documents,
Jessica
like stay up
Terrell.
with you. You have to
My
be able to
kids are
interface with me
currently in
competitively,
DHS
answer my questions.
custody
You have to be
for
able to
Little
either
Rock,
get to a
Arkansas.
scanner or a
Um,
fax machine or get these
my
documents to
husband's
me
cousin
and then
seen,
mark them as exhibits for
I
why you
guess, what was
qualify
it,
and probably
something
your
that I've
husband as a
taken
claimant.
care of on YouTube concerning Avery Carter. He is my caseworker for my children. But anyways, I have a story that I need to talk to you about. If you can you
Of course.
please call me
The
back
other
at
option is
610.
people who don't know professional services
Kids
know
are
if they want to
currently
retain
in
them.
Little
That's
Rock,
why I have
Arkansas,
that button
DHS.
there
My caseworker,
to
his name
prepay
is Avery Carter.
$100 for up to 2-hour
The situation
claims
is my
intake. If you
husband,
at the end
he
of
was
that claims
not
intake assessment, you tell
in
me
the state
what your claims are. A lot of people call them stories,
whenever they were
and I
cooking.
ask you
He was
questions about
currently
can
in
this, what can you
Mississippi, and
prove?
he's
Do we
trying to
need an
get them back.
affidavit for this? Do you have a
And his
witness for
mother,
it? And by
and
the end of that 2
they have
hours,
not released
I
them
give responsible recommendations as to
him
what
at all, and he didn't have anything to
monetary
do with it.
representative recourse you have through
And
the existing courts. Like, we make
that
it our
he's
business to go
finished
to the
everything
official
that
court
he's
website
completed his
and make
case
sure
plan
that
and
every
everything like
form
that.
that is available to
And
us is
his
filled
mom
out
has had
compliantly
a
and
criminal
accepted by
background
the
check
appropriate
done on
court,
her, a
right?
home
So
study,
at
and
the
they
end
still
of
have
that
not released the kids. It's been
2-hour claims intake
the kids will
assessment
be
interview,
in
I make my
DHS
recommendations as to
custody.
what I can
They got
responsibly
cooking
do
on
for you
November the
as a legal
17th
administrative
of
assistant case
last
study
year,
referral person
and
who wants to get a
they're
complaint
still
into the
in there.
federal court.
And my
So
daughter
as
reported whenever
litigators,
we
we
had
take it up,
visitation with
criminal
her,
justice, we take
what
it
was
up
it, in March, that the foster mother that had her was
I
hitting
can't
on my
answer any
son.
of your questions because you haven't paid for
And
even an
I
intake
discussed it
interview.
with my
I had a
caseworker,
hard
and
time
he said
getting
that he
people to
was going to
realize I'm
look
not an
into it, and
advocate. I'm not a
they're
volunteer.
still in the
I'm a
same home.
professional administrative
Please,
services
if you
company.
can you
And
call
my
me back
time is
at
very
601?
valuable.
Yes, ma'am.
I can tell you this, that one of our administrative solutions tools is a federal crime victim referral asking for the federal crime victim protective rights of the U.S. Department of Justice through the U.S. District Attorney's Office because of Avery Carter and several of the social workers down there that we have recorded as outright lying. All right, so he's been reported to the U.S. District Attorney's Office for crime victim support and protection. However, one of your crime victim rights, once you're a federal crime victim, which that means you suffered felony crimes as a result of official corruption, fraud, and civil rights. That's USC 3771. Well, of course, these federal agents, they don't come back and tell us, yeah, we're opening an investigation. All we could do is just look at the news, you know. But one of the things we do in our complaints that we file, we come personal injury is the nature of suit, and the cause of action is racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. They're defrauding all the billing agencies, all the subcontractors, and everybody's we make the economy connection, and then we ask the federal judge to make a criminal responsibilities referral. Okay? So if you just want the claims intake interview, you can have as many people as you want on the call. They can ask questions, they can ask how they fit in, that kind of thing. All right?
Okay.
All right. And my website is www.higherlyrics.org. Higherlyrics.org.
Okay, I'm getting a pen right now. I'm sorry. Okay, www.
Higherlyrics.org. HIRELYRICS.org. You can see some of our successful. The first time we did this successfully was in Minnesota, and we measured success by the fact we jumped up into the federal court instead of saying civil rights, where the federal court would come back and say, or the defendants would come back and say, motion to dismiss, you don't have jurisdiction in an open state court matter. We said, no, this is not about a custody or dependency matter. It's about a personal injury matter. We use our expert witness reports of all that's available from child psychiatric experts to say what happens to children in foster care, both child maltreatment and the separation trauma. And we say the personal injury is ongoing and exacerbated, and the cause of action is racketeering. We show every single billing entity that was defrauded by asking for an audit, even at the state level, the Auditor General.
Okay. 2 hours of service. Okay.
The contract for your own, how to retain me to run 2 venues, a federal action noticed into the state court. That's very powerful. That's how we won in Minnesota. We noticed the federal action in the state court, and it resulted in the state court closing the family court case. You see what I mean? So that when you see my retainer agreement at the at higherlyrics.org, the homepage, the same place where the payment buttons are, you could do a claims intake, or you could make an installment payment on that retainer agreement. Just follow the instructions that are on the link, and you can see how what we do in federal court, we notice into the state court to put the pressure on them to let them know that they are under investigation federally.
Okay. I mean,
all right. I wanted to return your. See, this is what I want to avoid. See, it's very time wasting. When I do return people's calls who haven't paid for a claims intake assessment, they always say, "Oh, this is so much information." I just wanted to make it clear to you, it's I can't do anything with a story. I have to verify claims. Okay, all right. And that's what
anybody can tell you a story.
What? Yeah, anybody can. Yeah, that's what everybody's going around with, the Bill Windsor, Lawless America. We're going to make a movie. We're going to render everything down into 3 minutes and then sell it to HBO. Look, these are not stories. These are federal crime victimizations.
I mean, they violated my husband's rights. I mean, totally, and his own mother's rights. I mean, my husband wasn't even involved whenever the kids.
You will see, if you go to my website, you will see my retainer agreement has grown from the learning that this claimant population needs. Already devastated, already been ripped off a million times, and there's 2 claim forms where 2 people having the same interest in the same subject, children or loved one, because children come in all ages, people wrongfully convicted or incarcerated, can get the same price, the same representation. I draw up the documents with their signature line on it, pro se.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's the point where I said, huh?
Your phone was kind of, probably was my phone. I couldn't get your website. I was trying to write it down, and I guess you were going too fast.
Yeah, a lot of people spell the word like higher, meaning elevated. It's like lyrics for higher, HIRE, higher, and then no spaces or anything. The word lyrics, plural, LYRICS.org.
Did you say marriage?
Higherlyrics.org. HIRELYRICS.org.
Okay.
Or you go to Google. Go to Google. Punch Roxanne Grinage in there. All right? Come right up. I don't know if you're on Facebook. My Facebook, where I share a lot of links and a lot of stuff of what I'm doing and with other people, we share everything that works, and we share what other people shared with us that worked and didn't work. There's 3 different paralegals that's doing a lot of good work across the country, and we're all building on it. We're not like running around protecting copyrights and everything. We're like, here, use this. Here's an authoritative reference. Use this.
Okay.
So I'm
Roxanne. I'm gonna get on there.
Huh?
I said, well, I'm gonna get on your website.
Okay. I hope to hear from you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is Roxanne Grinage, Higher Lyrics Administrative Services.
Hi, this is Miss Freedom. I'm calling from Mississippi, and my son's wife just called. I believe it was you she spoke with. Regarding her kids in Arkansas.
Jessica Turow?
Yes, were you the one that she spoke with?
Yeah, if you're talking about Jessica Turow, yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm those kids' grandmother.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm okay. Oh, yeah, I just expressed to Miss Jessica Turow. I returned her call and emphasized we're not here to just gather stories. We're here to gather claims and exhibit evidence to go into court.
You know what, though? I'm not, you know what, by me being a grandmama, when those kids was taken, we're in Mississippi. I don't know what kind of laws they got. And when we're in Mississippi, when those kids was taken, that's like maybe a 7-hour drive from us. They didn't even give me by me being a grandmama, they didn't even give me a chance. My son, when he didn't, but they like to me, they gave my son the railroad because he was staying in the house. Him and her had split up. He didn't even know those kids was gone. But he was staying here with me and my husband, and they didn't even pick the phone up to call to give us a chance to come get those kids. And I took off after they placed those kids. They went right immediately and put those kids in custody. They didn't give me a chance to come down there to try to get them. And then
I know, but see what you're saying is the law for that is deprivation of rights under color of law, where someone in an official position actually perpetrates a felony crime. Perjury is a felony crime. Okay, so.
Yeah, well, see, like I explained to him, and I don't know what's going on with the Carter, because like that little degree he's doing, I got a degree in child and family studies too, so I know how the family system, you know, how our laws down here work. I don't know what kind of laws they got down there, Miss Granger. I don't know. They won't let them kids. They started out letting my little granddaughter call me, blame me, once a week. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked him, what's the reason the kids, I can't talk to the grandkids? I said, I don't have anything to do with none of that. I said, I'm just an innocent bystander. Why y'all want
Yeah, see,
he said it's the best interest of the kids.
Listen, the video that Miss Jessica Turow and her husband the father of the children are responding to is a case study piece of journalism that we do. Like, there's a family in Little Rock, Arkansas, that they're moving in a landmark case. The reason why it's a landmark case is because our case caption is going to say, and for other Arkansas or other federal crime victims similarly situated. What we are proving in a federal court is a personal injury, not civil rights, personal injury with causes of action, racketeering influence, corrupt organizations, where you actually have these caseworkers. Avery Carter is one example, who literally.
As a matter of fact, that's who's handling that situation, and he don't like talking to me, because like I told him, and you know my son got a high school diploma, and just because a person, I mean, he graduated, but his mama's educated, and when I try to talk to him, he really don't want
right,
to
but
see,
see,
the stuff he railroad my son with, he can't run it for me.
Unless you start, but see, all of us, like I have 3,000 nationally, right, and like I say, Arkansas, there's 5 main plaintiffs. There's 2 grandmothers who've had each one of their grandchildren harvested by Avery Carter and these corrupt judges. They're literally, Avery Carter, these caseworkers are literally stating to them about which judge they should get, about how the judge doesn't look at what's in the best interest of the child.
I went down there, that judge, I'm not trying much, and I don't want to make this remark, but I'm just gonna say it, and I would tell it if I had to go to court. He just looked like he is very. Both of those kids are biracial. They are beautiful kids. I'm telling you, they are beautiful kids. And like I told her, they don't sit the case. I got a social worker from Hattiesburg, from Mississippi, that came to my house. They tell my kids are due to go to court. My son is due to go back to court. They holding those kids for another 6 months until I understand she's supposed to go get some treatment, but you can't make nobody get no help. But she's trying to do right now. But my son haven't done anything. They
listen. A federal court only has jurisdiction if you can prove legal malpractice is occurring in the state, right? So. Listen now, the Children's Protective Services funding to protect children for whatever reason they say they're removing a child, right? It says their first priority, the state of the Department of Health and Human Services, their employees' first priority is to streamline heritage and familiarity, that they're supposed to go to a willing and able relative, regardless of what.
And you know what? And like I told them, I took out work. Miss Grace, I took out work. I was doing pharmacy tech. Now I'm starting a new job as a case manager. Now my nephew's opening his own family business. But at the time, I took out work a whole day, used my car, 7.5 hour drive, went up there and stood before the judge. I ain't got no kind of record. Never been to jail in my life. I used to teach kids. And you work in the pharmaceutical, you gonna have, they do background check nationwide for the, if you're working with dealing with medicine. Okay, I went there. They said they wouldn't even release those kids to me.
Yeah, but when in our federal lawsuit, what we're doing is we're saying in a federal lawsuit, when you have racketeering causes of action, the first one is a civil investigative demand, where you're telling the U.S. attorney, and Ms. Torrell's been at the case study page now for my Arkansas clients, and they see where we did a referral to Office of Crime Victim, U.S. Department of Justice protection. What we do file first is the complaint, and we name the people individually and officially. It's the whole department, and then it's the individual social workers that gave unsolicited and incorrect legal advice, gave prejudicial advice, and came and violated the 4th and 14th Amendment rights, where we're supposed to be reasonably safe, literally illegally transported kids. But the next thing that we file immediately after we do federal rule service of summons, right? The clerk gives you certified summons to serve. When we serve them, now we're able to file something else in, and we learned this by a famous First Amendment attorney, Mr. Mark Randazza, to file right then and there a motion, injunctive relief, emergency protective order, return those children kidnapped for profit, injured immediately, because the nature of our suit.
You know what? They should have been trying to return them, because when my son went up there, they got some old psychological test that they wanted them to come there. He got mad. He called June the 1st, my son. He called my phone and asked that my son and her supposed to be up there to take some kind of test. I'm just going to put it like this, a test to see if they're crazy or mental or something.
Yeah, listen, I know what that test is. It's called the IMMD-2 personality test. And
my son said, well, I found a doctor down here, a psychologist in Mississippi, to take the test. He got mad at my son. You were supposed to come up here to take. My son said, I don't have money to be running up there. Well, I might charge you and her.
Yeah, but listen, first of all, that's a violation anyway to insist on taking that test. Don't you know there's a 20,000 case state nationwide of the.
That's why we know something illegal going on, because he got mad. So what happened? My son, the social worker, somebody around here in Mississippi, found a doctor, a child psychologist. He's a counselor, PhD. He has a PhD. He did the test here. And when he called my phone the other day, when my son, I told him I haven't talked to my son in several days. He said, well, so when I got the message to my son called me and said, Mama, that man made me so mad. He said, he wanted to order me, just in other words, he was literally calling me a lie. My son went, it was a doctor performed that same test here in Mississippi. And
yeah, but that's what they want you to do.
My nephew, like I told him, he don't like to talk to me or my nephew, because my nephew got his almost.
I know, he doesn't like to, but they're still perpetrating the crime. There's injury right now to your family. Your bloodline has been stolen. Those children don't have their heritage. They don't know who they are. Your grandmother was something to pass on.
They said a little girl fighting every day. And look, I didn't know she had another foster care in the home. Okay, my son went up there. I didn't mean to cut you out.
Let me finish this. This is important, ma'am. Ma'am.
That little girl already was in the room. Daddy, I'm ready to come home. That lady called her name.
We have, listen, we have expert.
Her brother don't talk real good. I think he autistic.
That's
but he's still a beautiful, both of them beautiful kids.
Listen, that's the effectiveness of putting it in a court of record that becomes an immediate public record. When you file into the federal court, they are literally selling this information to litigators and criminal justice.
What the social worker told me, she said they trying to intimidate my son, even though he ain't got nothing to do with it, but they trying to intimidate him and giving him the runaround as soon as he.
But that's why I was telling Jessica. I was telling Jessica how critical it was if she wanted to come in. Now, these people in Little Rock, Arkansas, there's 5 main plaintiffs. One of the grandmothers whose child was taken that we were able to film, right? She was a foster parent for 7 years. And Avery Carter told her, you can watch the other kids, but you can't watch your own. You can't have your own, right? Blood. So what we have done is learn the legislative language, how to write a bill to change the laws. Because this is what's really happening in Arkansas. They are functioning like a Confederate slave state, right? Where we have our own rules, right?
I know we in Mississippi, and I believe they might be just as bad as us. Because baby, when I went down to here, that is a slum. The town, it just looked like a plum. And the judge just looked like he was so precious when I went there. I don't think these kids need to go.
Don't forget 1957, the president had to send in the federal troops to enforce the federal law for segregation. Now listen, they're taking the federal funding for children's protective services and meant for family preservation. They're taking that, and they're double and triple billing.
One of the little boys already get a little. The little boy, Jessica's little boy, I think he's autistic. Now I don't know. He wasn't diagnosed with that when he was here, but I know he has a little speech problem. He was getting almost $800 Social Security check. The first thing she gonna say, well, if you ain't that time when we go to court in September, they want me and my husband to come. But you still not guaranteed you're gonna get those children.
That's part of the front. If you make the economy connection.
They tried to charge that girl $1,500. She don't have no money.
They don't care who's mad or who's upset. They care about the economy connection. That's why you got to get it in a federal court where the Social Security Administration says, oh, no, that's fraud. That's identity theft. And you're billing Children's Protective Services also, and you charge somebody child support. And just let me say something about this this personality test, this mental health.
He got mad. Yeah, they made my son take that. Like my nephew was talking. He said, she don't like talking to him either because, like I said, he just knows just as much, maybe more than her. He said, look, I'm working on my PhD. He said, I done did with families. I done worked in the mental facilities with patients. He said, and why are you like you violating Mr. Terrell's right? Why are you making them take a test? Even
listen, James Roger Brown. He was an intelligence officer cracking code in the military. When he came back, he had false allegations about DHS, and he made it his business to show how the Minnesota patented IMMD court-ordered personality test is jerry-rigged.
That's the one she was saying, because she was going to last 8 hours and going to tell him, be prepared to spend the night. You ain't giving my child no money to spend no night up in the hotel. Then you got to pay for gas.
That's not the end of it. They're not going to be happy till they gouge everybody in the family. There's a video on YouTube by Center for Judicial Excellence. Kathleen Russell got a grant, and what she did with the money was she paid court employees to tell the truth. She said, you don't realize when you call our courts about domestic relations, it has nothing to do with what's in the best interest of the children. We have a script to follow to find out what the most abusive situation is for the child, because we know that protector, father, mother, grandparent will never stop fighting for that child. The younger the child, the better. And there will be court dates. Attorneys will get paid. Behavioral health specialists will get paid. Pharmaceutical companies, they'll get all type of psychotropic drugs, talking about you're crying too much, you got ADHD, you need this Ritalin, right?
He want him to let the kid talk to me. He's calling me once a week, once every 2 weeks. I said, now, when I talked to him a couple of days ago, when he come calling word about why my son didn't go up there and take that test, he gonna say, well, they're not allowed to talk to
No. I would strongly suggest you join this complaint that's going to be filed sometime at the end of this week.
I don't mind filing now because, first of all, I'm a grandmama. I'm 53 years old. Me and my husband here, and I've never. I've been a single mother before with my ex-husband, but there's no charges or nothing ever been brought against me. I just left teaching school.
That's what but if you got these felony charges in a federal court, like public defamation is one right there. They said things about you that weren't true. They caused you loss of income at work. They cause you pain and suffering and strife. And there are medical reports by psychiatric experts that say how injured those kids were, and they have a grid for what you sued them for. You understand? It's called damages.
I already reported that she being that woman been beating on, spanking on her. So now they even sent somebody to my home. The case is down here in Mississippi with the file because the social worker had to come do an IC. What is an ICEM? Would he come out and see if my house is, for the place, and if they place the kids, they want to make sure my house. That woman, social worker, had in my house. She said, I don't have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. She said, but honey, you got a nice house. So it sure ain't nothing with your house. Now she did tell me I might have to put another bed in there because I don't want to have a 17-year-old.
They keep you on the defensive and don't give you any accountability for what's going on with the children. They keep you on the offensive, and our children literally become missing and exploited children. Nobody has to tell us their whereabouts, the conditions under which they're living, as long as they're getting a check and food stamps for them.
They getting a check. That little boy was getting a $700. Now, I don't know what they're getting in Arkansas, but Mississippi.
You got to come off look, I tell you what, when you're ready to come off the defensive and really go after these people for the crimes that they committed to you and demand damages, punitive damages, and criminal responsibilities, investigations, and arrests, let me know, okay? Let me know. But like
are you coming there Friday?
What?
Are you flying to? Anybody flying to Arkansas Friday?
I'm planning. I've all but finished. I finished it. I give everybody a draft to look at. I think it's finished, but my claimants in Little Rock, Arkansas, have to look at it. So I'm shipping it 5 sets of it down there with an e-discovery disc. Because when you're talking about children, certain things have to be entered under seal, right? So with a data disc. So I'm shipping that to them on Monday, but it's just a draft where I stand by like their secretary, and that you can always come back. You're putting your name to it. It's a pro se filing, so you can say, wait a minute, you forgot this. I'm not comfortable with that, or I should have got this piece of paper to you, this exhibit to you, that kind of thing. That's why I was telling Jessica Terrell, if you're going to join theirs, there's no time to lose, because we can't hold theirs up anymore. We've been 6 months researching the Arkansas law, reporting them to the U.S. District Attorney in Arkansas for their federal crime victim rights, and learning the legislative bill language.
She's getting ready to go up there Wednesday. They having now some kind of way they supposed to be having surgery on their mouth. Say something about their teeth. And I told them, well, I won't be able to come up there Wednesday, but if I knew y'all litigation was something was going to meet, when the media was coming there Friday, I could get there.
I'm not the media. I'm a legal assistant. I'm a project man. I refer case studies. I set up a case for big global practicing law firms to take it on. I set it up. All right, and I do that by making a pro se filing. That's what I told Jessica Terrell. I don't care about no stories.
She really didn't too much. Like I say, that's why I told her to get you to call me, because she don't really.
I have a retainer contract.
She's not really.
Yeah, well, I sent her to my website.
That's why they like to manipulate that girl. She don't allow stuff.
I sent her to my website. She swears she went to the website. She sees the retainer agreement. She sees her obligations in it, my obligations in it, and payment buttons. Okay, so I don't know what else to tell y'all, but I'm not I don't. And another thing, we can control our own media now with internet posting capability. That's how we market our case studies. At my website, we send them in to litigators and prosecutors, the attorney general, to get these investigations. All right, because it's a public safety emergency.
They need it because they railroad me, and like I told them, I said, I know that's wrong. I said, them children should be in my household. I got my
Like I say, when you're ready to take some filing action, let me know. Okay? Have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.